Ripple's automated market maker update is officially live. The SEC seeks to make Ethereum a security. And the last thing that we're going to be going over is the SEC files a motion with a judge seeking a $2 billion remedies fine for Ripple versus the SEC case. Make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all those details. Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning in my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys go and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started. On my channel, we talk about anything that impacts financial markets. This is going to include the political landscape, especially because we're in an election year, the stock market. But the main thing that we go over on my channel is cryptocurrency. Getting started. Today's going to be Saturday, March 30th. The total market cap for all cryptocurrency right now is $2.64 trillion. This is a 0.31% decrease on the day today. So basically, we're at a zero. We're at a wash right now. Fear and Greed Index, we are at an 80 right now. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $70,016, Ethereum $3,522, and XRP right now at 62.4 cents. Getting into our biggest gainers and losers on the day today, we have Core up right now 27.1%, Ordi is going to be up 14.8%, and then we got SATS is going to be up 10.1%. Biggest losers on the day today, we got APT is going to be down 6%, we have Doge right now down 5.7%. And then SNX is going to be down 3.9%. Getting into our news, though, Jerome Powell and the Fed still project that we're going to have a 75 basis points cut this year, or 0.75% of whatever the interest rate is right now. In my opinion, I think this is a great sign. And then we had some great investor confidence after this report came out, because right after he finished speaking, the stock market was all in the greens. And I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, especially if you're in cryptocurrency, but the majority of stocks were up about 1%. We had Tesla and then Meta going to be both up 2%. But in this, stock markets don't move as much as cryptocurrency markets. They're not as volatile, so they're considered a little bit more safe. Cryptocurrency markets can move 10-20% in a day, but stocks only move roughly about 1-2% max. But in my opinion, I do think this was really great for investor confidence. And as we see these rate cuts happen, because none have happened yet, but if we do see some of these rate cuts actually happen, we're going to see some bigger gains and returns on our investments in the stock market and cryptocurrency market. Now, if you guys own a home and you guys are thinking about renting your guys' home out, or even if you're trying to go out and sell your guys' house, you guys have to be careful. There was a 47-year-old New York City woman who was arrested for attempting to remove squatters from her Flushing, Queens home. Now, in this, she's trying to sell it for about $1 million, and the reason why is her parents passed away, left her the home. But in this, we're having a lot of squatters take over a lot of these homes, especially if you guys list your guys' homes on Airbnb. If you guys do a long-term rental, stuff like that, you guys can get screwed out of your guys' homes. Now you have to go out and pay your guys' mortgage while you guys have to go and fight with the courts trying to remove people from your guys' own home. So hopefully we can see something in Congress to get rid of squatters' rights, because they're taking advantage of that system. In this, Fani Willis, for those of you guys that don't know, she's the DA in Fulton County. She has zero remorse for screwing the same man she hired to go after Trump. Her greatest crime, she says, is having a relationship with a man. Nathan Wade, who's the guy that she had a relationship with, who she hired on, paid $604,000 of taxpayer dollars to go after Trump. Now, she used taxpayer dollars for this, paid him $604,000, but the two other special prosecutors who she hired got paid less than $100,000 each. In my opinion, this was completely ridiculous. And then she tries to gaslight the news and saying you guys don't know what you guys are talking about. All you guys care about is about what's going on with her and not what the true crime is, and that's former President Trump with his election interference. But put your guys' thoughts down in the comments below on this. Now, there was a judge that reduced former President Trump's $454 million bond to $175 million in the appeals court. We've seen this. Letitia James, she's the DA in New York. She's the one that's been going after Trump, posting about all of his interest that was being accumulated for the fines and stuff like that on her X account. In my opinion, completely ridiculous. Trump now has 10 days to secure the bond, meaning his banks and properties are safe for now, because she was talking about and actually gloating about going over this to the news media, saying that she can't wait to seize his assets, basically just threatening. And we never should have threats coming from our district attorneys and stuff like that, in my opinion. Mario Nafal comes out and says that more young people are getting cancer one of the greatest investments you guys can do is in your guys' own health. We see Kate Middleton's revelation that she is being treated for cancer and has been spotlighted for having an alarming increase in cancer among young people. Cancer specialist states that when I started as a cancer surgeon 20 years ago, you rarely saw any young patients, but now you see them regularly. So make sure you guys take care of your guys' selves, take care of your guys' body as much as you guys can. CoinDesk reports that bankrupt crypto lender Genesis has agreed to pay $21 million in a final judgment to settle charges with the SEC, the regulator announced on Tuesday. In my opinion, this is completely ridiculous. We're seeing a lot of just these crypto lenders or crypto exchanges basically just bowing down to the SEC because they don't have as much money as Ripple does to continue the fight that the rest of the cryptocurrency industry needs. Luckily, Coinbase finally stepped up, took them way too long, in my opinion. Uh, David Schwartz, he's the CTO over at Ripple, says that there are scam emails circulating claiming that you need to do something about your guys' FTX claims. For those of you guys that don't know, FTX is trying to reimburse a lot of individuals when their consumer funds were stolen from them by Sam Bankman-Fried. He was just sentenced. We're going to go over that in my next video. But don't use the links in those emails. You can check the status of your guys' claim at the official portal. So if you guys want to, you guys can go ahead. Everything's going to be down in the comments below. So this link right here will be the safe link according to David Schwartz. And he's not going to be doing anything that you guys shouldn't trust, especially because he is the CTO over at Ripple. Crypto Mason says that the Solana Labs co-founder just reported that the dollar sign mail for sending the first email on Solana. He says he's bullish on Sol Mail official. In my opinion, I don't like the Solana network, but obviously anything that's related to cryptocurrency, if it's a positive, that's going to be going really well for the cryptocurrency industry. Ripple shares that the XLS30 AMM8 automated market maker is now officially live on the XRPL. So that's the XRP ledger. Is a revolutionary of the XRPL's native DEX, introducing a first of its kind approach to the on-chain market makers and liquidity. Learn more here. If you guys want to click this link, it'll be down in the comments below. The XRPL has the world's first DEX since 2012 with fully on-chain order books to operate 24/7. Transactions settle automatically in 3 to 5 seconds and cost fractions of a cent in network fees. So again, this is going to obviously compete with Ethereum. And in my opinion, it's going to be a lot better because we see Ethereum's fees. If you want to put $200 in the Ethereum network, you're going to be paying anywhere from $20 to $40 in fees. You're going to pay fractions of a cent on that if you guys use the XRPL automated market maker. The XLS30 adds automated market maker functionality and interconnects order books and liquidity pools to facilitate the best price execution accessible to all. Developers, market makers, and more can harness the power of a unified DEX to enable superior product experience for everyone. The novel continuous auction mechanism ensures the continuous price discovery and reduces the impact on the impairment loss by partially burning auction slot proceeds. An LP voting mechanism allows liquidity providers to participate in decisions related to liquidity pools, enhancing decentralization and XRPL community involvement in the XLS30 ecosystem. Single-sided LP functionality enables users to provide liquidity with only one asset, simplifying participating in the AMM for broad range of users. The protocol swaps for the LP's behalf to maintain the 1-to-1 ratio, thus decreasing the number of steps to improve UX. Liquidity is aggregated at the protocol layers rather than fragmented across numerous applications and duplicated liquidity pools. It's day one of the AMM and the XRP ledger. How do you planning to use it as it grows? If you guys want to have a deeper dive to the mechanisms and benefits for developers, you guys can click this link below. In my opinion, I think that this is very great, in my opinion, for the XRP ledger, and also for people who want to lend their XRP tokens to these liquidity pools to receive a portion of the proceeds back to their accounts David Schwartz, who was the CTO of Ripple, who is the founder, in my opinion, of the AMM, says that after 2 years, the day has finally arrived. The AMM is live on the XRPL mainnet. Thus begins a longer road from today's initial route to future growth milestones for users, traders, devs, market makers, and many more. Looking forward to the journey alongside all of those who use the XRPL community. And a bunch of people are thanking David Schwartz over here in the comments. Now, there was an issue with this, with the automated market makers. Ripple did post about this. It has since been fixed, but it says that the issue has been identified. The dispendency affected how the DEX payment engine routes liquidity through the AMM pools and order books in some complex payment path scenarios. We're reviewing the proposed fix now with the community. Thank you for whoever, this guy who brought it up. Which will then need to go through the amendment voting process. Appreciate the quick response from the community participants, including these individuals and others, in spreading the word and acting quickly to close deposit functionality. So these are all the individuals who opened up a DEX or open up an automated market maker pools for liquidity. And this, devs are laser focused on the fix. It is currently being reviewed and stringently tested. Then the bug officially did get fixed on the 26th, so 2 days later. David Schwartz did say, to clarify, the recently identified issue is not caused by single-sided deposit features, which a bunch of people thought, which was an intended functionality of the AMM design. Single-sided deposits allow for more streamlined user experience, but can lead to price impacts when pools have less liquidity. It's best for users to review the price impact in their tooling before submitting a transaction, and front-end apps should display this information to users. And then Kosha says, the same suggested solution I proposed. Thanks, David. So in my opinion, they were on the right track and they kind of figured this out right away and got it fixed. And like I said, the bug did get fixed for review with GitHub and will be reviewed in the 2.1.1 release of Rippled. We also published a blog post tomorrow with more information about what happened in the next steps. In this, Crypto News Flash reports that VeChain surpasses Ripple and IOTA for integration set standard for financial revolution. In my opinion, I don't see this as a actual big news. Ripple's just been slow right now with the Ripple versus the SEC case, but I do see VeChain surpassing IOTA. I think it is a great cryptocurrency. And it's the VET token on the VeChain network. In my opinion, I think that this is really great. We'll see what happens with this, but in my opinion, as soon as this lawsuit's over, we're going to see the price of the XRP token skyrocket. Again, no financial advice. Getting into our Watcher Guru news, Robinhood launches crypto wallet on Google Play for Android users, just onboarding more individuals into the cryptocurrency space. The Fed Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged, remains at 5.25 to 5.5%. Now, in this, we're going to see either a 4.5 or a 4.75 if the Fed decides to cut the interest rates, those 75 basis points. Elon Musk says the world's first Neurolink patient can control a computer and play video games just by thinking. And in this, he did post, this is Noland Argbaugh, however you guys pronounce his names, says that Twitter banned me because they thought I was a bot. X and Elon Musk reinstated me because I am. Elon Musk says this is the first post that was actually made on X by a patient with the Neuralink. In my opinion, I would never get this, but obviously we're going to see a growth for this, especially in the near future. We're going to see a lot more people getting into this Neuralink. It just has to be tested, approved by the FDA, and then a bunch more people will get this update. In my opinion, I don't know about putting a computer chip into your brain and so you guys can control technology. It's my opinion, though, it is revolutionary, and we'll see a price increase on Tesla stock, SpaceX, if SpaceX ever does go public, and then if there's ever any company that's actually backing Neuralink. Now, X has now received a money transmitter license for payment in over 22 U.S. states. These are the states below. If you guys want to take a look at it, you guys can. JP Morgan keeps on doing this backhanded stuff. It says that Bitcoin has been overbought, but we see Jamie Dimon come out and say that it's used for scams and everything else, but is obviously the money transmitter person for BlackRock, Fidelity, Citadel, all these people who actually did get into these spot Bitcoin ETFs. So it's like, as do as I say, don't as I do. They're going to keep on coming out with these posts. But in doing so, it's trying to get your regular individuals to get enough financial advice, but me and you out of cryptocurrency so that they can make more money in the long run, because everyone right now sees a future with cryptocurrency. The London Stock Exchange to launch Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded notes ETN on the market. Obviously, we're seeing growth outside the United States with this. Hedera engagement is being revolutionized by distributed ledger technology. That's what DLT stands for. The network is providing infrastructure to enable global brands and individual creators to effectively realize this disruptive potential of Web3 and how to connect and engage with their communities. In my opinion, bullish on Hedera and that they use the HBAR token. Hedera also says we're excited to announce that Hedera has officially joined the UK Crypto Business Council, joining the likes of ARCAX, Coinbase, Ripple, Uniswap Labs, and other leading institutions to foster Web3 innovation and growth in the UK. Just more bullish news for Hedera. And then Eleanor Charette says, if Fortune Magazine's reporting is correct, the SEC is indeed on a campaign to classify ETH, which is Ethereum, as a security. Besides scrutinizing its own proof of stake model, the regulator may be looking into the ICO, which the SEC itself put aside with the ETH was not a security speech that was made by Bill Hinman in June of 2018. So big news coming out of this. And the Ethereum Foundation is being under investigation by unnamed state authorities. The scope of the investigation is currently unknown. If you guys want to read more about it, you guys can in this link from Crypto Law. Now, this this right here is the chief legal officer over at Coinbase. His name is Paul Grewal. He says, Sai, again, with the ETH misinformation as we await a decision on ETH, ETPs, okay, let's talk about some basic facts about Ethereum. Millions of Americans hold ETH, and they have been vital in the crypto space since 2015 launch, and ETH community is not a security. The SEC has taken this position for years. That's since 2018 with the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. A senior SEC official said that ETH is not a security. The SEC Director of Corporate Finance, Bill Hinman's statement is linked below right here. Example B, before he was the SEC chair, Gary Gensler himself testified before Congress that ETH is not a security. You guys can read his testimony here. And that even very recently, SEC trial lawyers continue to compare Ethereum to Bitcoin. So if you're comparing to Ethereum to Bitcoin, they've already said that Bitcoin is not a security. So how can you compare the two? The CFTC and federal courts have consistently confirmed that ETH is a commodity, which is not a security. The ETH futures contracts started trading the CFTC regulated futures exchange in 2021. The Howey test doesn't determine ETH status, and as we have explained in the depth of other proceedings, digital assets like ETH do not involve the ongoing contractual obligations related to the business enterprise, are not investment contracts, and that's one of the three prongs of the Howey test. Even if we were to apply the Howey ETH, utterly fails that test, and nothing about the merge changed that conclusion. The SEC has no good reason to deny ETH, ETPs, or these spot ETF applications, as we hope that they won't try to invent one by questioning the long-established regulatory status of ETH, which the SEC repeatedly endorsed. That's not how the law works, and America deserves better. In my opinion, I don't think that they should classify ETH as security, but I do think that they should look into how ETH started, and a bunch of those government regulators like Bill Hinman with this, because him with the likes of Gary Gensler, and also Vitalik Buterin, who is also one of the co-founders of Ethereum with Joseph Lubin. All those individuals need to be investigated. Brad Garlinghouse says that the SEC picked fights with the industry and is losing badly in the courts. They're now fighting fellow regulators like the CFTC and failing behind international counterparts. At what point does the SEC realize that they will lose the war against ETH, and just as they lost against XRP, which I definitely agree with. Jimmy Vallee says that the Ethereum presale predated the launch of Ethereum network. A purchaser received a cryptographic receipt to receive Ether at a later date, and that's the investment contract that they're talking about. If you guys want to read more about this, you guys can, but there was an investment contract with the purchase agreement, terms and conditions under ETH Genesis sale. So there's a lot of scrutiny about this. And why are you waiting so long if you're the SEC for this to happen? In my opinion, I do believe it's because the courts are waiting for this because they've been losing. The SEC's been losing in court so much. Crypto Mason says that the SEC is trying to call ETH a security. XRP already defeated this miserable organization in court and is cleared not a security. So we'll see what happens with this. But Ripple has also been cited a few times in the new MasterCard report, the future of remittances in Latin America, decentralization, multiple rails, and the strategic role of partnerships as an example of blockchain and remittances and CBDCs. So bullish news for Ripple and MasterCard's agreement. Obviously, we've seen a lot of this in recent news, but still, some of this is also backdated and also coming up as recent news. So always do your guys' own independent research on this. James K. Filan says the SEC has filed its motion for remedies and entry in the final judgment, the memorandum of law in support of the motion and its proposed judgment. So this is what the SEC needed to do. Now Ripple's going to reply for this, but Stuart Alderati says, as you will see in the SEC's brief that is made public tomorrow, which has already been made public, they asked the judge for a $2 billion in fines and penalties. Our response will be filed next month, so we're going to see a response coming in April. But as we all have seen time and time again, that this regulator that trades in statements that are false, mischaracterized, and designed to mislead, they stay true to their form here. Rather than faithfully applying the law, the SEC remains bent on wanting to punish and intimidate Ripple and the industry at large. We trust that the court will approach the remedies phase fairly. And in my opinion, I do hope that the courts do this. Brad Garlinghouse does comment on this and says Gensler's SEC has repeatedly acted out of the law, not going unnoticed by judges admonishing the agency as a gross abuse of power entrusted by Congress. This was in the debt box case that we talked about in my last video, and for acting without a faithful allegiance of law, and that was stated in the Ripple case by that judge. Let's not also forget Gensler's lack of attention to the Sam Bankman-Fried fraud, who was just found guilty and sentenced just recently, which we'll go over in my next video. The SEC plans to ask the judge for $2 billion in the case that involved no allegations, let alone findings of fraud or recklessness. There is absolutely no precedent for this. We will continue to expose the SEC for what they are when they respond to this. And in my opinion, I do agree with this. Chris Larson, who is also the co-founder over at Ripple, says that Gensler and the SEC have become unhinged. This will not and should not go unnoticed in the election year, and the SEC single-handedly thinks it's above the law, dragging the U.S. further behind other G20 countries with the adoption of cryptocurrency. Now, crypto law states that the SEC plans to seek this $2 billion remedies for the $700 million in institutional sales that the XRP qualified as investment contracts. So this is what Judge Torres said was considered an investment contract. That Ripple did profit $700 million in the sale of these XRP tokens. No fraud nor any harm to those investors were alleged, just failure to register. Now, the Ripple did also go into the SEC asking for clear rules and regulations before all of these sales did happen. They received no response from the SEC. Judge Torres still said that this $700 million was considered an investment contract. But in this, how are you going to come up with $2 billion from a $700 million purchase agreement as qualified in investors? For the retail investors who suffered $15 billion in losses, the SEC's failed embodiment theory and nothing. On what planet is this okay? And then Jeremy Hogan comes up with this last one and says, how backwards does the SEC get this? It wants $2 billion from Ripple, which would require Ripple to sell a lot of the XRP, causing the price to drop, hurting the retail holder, which is me and you if you guys do hold the XRP token. It would then disgorge that money back to rich institutional holders, feel protected yet. In my opinion, I completely disagree with this. We're going to wait for Ripple's response. Thank you guys for tuning into my video, and I look forward to you guys in the next one. And if you guys can invest with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Thank you guys, and have a good one.